Welcome back to the Conversations podcast. I'm Daf.
I'm Mike.
And thanks for tuning in today. How has your week been since the last time we've talked?
Pretty busy. Just catching up on post-month-long trip catch up. Mostly related to the money I spent on my trip and verifying everything, making sure no one has fraudulently used any of my cards.
Did you get your suitcase unpacked?
Actually, I still have a bit to go.
Shame.
I know that's like a thing for you.
I couldn't believe when you said that it wasn't unpacked the other day. So.
It's mostly unpacked, but it's still there, open. It's not done. When it's all unpacked, the trip is like officially over.
Yeah,
so
it's been.
Yeah, but for me, I still kind of like to reminisce, and my open bag with stuff in there is like a daily reminder how much fun I had.
It's like you're savoring?
Yes, I'm savoring. It's like I'm not clearing off my dessert plate yet.
I'm a big savorer, so I guess I feel you on that, but not in the suitcase.
It's not just the suitcase, it's the trip.
My week, I've been pretty busy just with my dog sitting work, with appointments. I went to the eye doctor, which is always kind of big for me. I have severe sight issues. Not that I'm like legally blind or anything. I do have a pretty, what do you call that? Pretty high up prescription. My prescription is
strong prescription.
Thank you.
Your
strong
glasses
prescription.
Are thick?
The glasses are thick. Very blind without any assistance. So yeah, it's always kind of a big to do. Thankfully, I'm kind of. It was a big visit for me because for the first time in my adult life, I've been waiting to get the go ahead or the okay from an eye doctor that I can get LASIK corrective surgery.
Oh, nice.
And she did give me the okay. Although I feel like she's kind of just giving me the okay because she gets like a referral fee.
Yeah, that could be incentive.
You're supposed to have your prescription be the same for like 2+ years or more before you get the okay. And this is the first time this doctor has seen me. She is saying that I'm still at the same prescription of my old glasses, which is 2 years. But when I went to a different eye doctor last year in May, so not even 12 months ago, my prescription changed with contacts. So there's a little bit of an inconsistency if you ask me. Like, I think maybe she's just, I think maybe she's just giving me the referral for that reason. I don't know. Wow. Okay.
She's part of the show.
I guess. You have something to say?
I think she wants some attention.
Anyway, so might not be entirely truthful that I'm ready for LASIK. Hopefully, but we'll see. The consultation is free, so I'll probably go in the next couple of months and just see what they have to say about it. Hi. Oh my God, she's going to sit down. Oh my gosh.
How come she's like that just when we start filming? Most of the time she's like over there just ignoring us.
This is my girl Celine.
Taking a nap.
She's kind of naughty compared to my other cat, but she's on best behavior right now, I guess. Anyway, so my week's just been kind of busy with the eye doctor. That was a big one. I'm glad I got a new pair of glasses ordered. Hopefully these ones aren't as thick as my last pair.
So I don't recall you wear glasses when you drive. What are you wearing when
I
you're
wear
driving?
contacts almost 24/7 because I dislike my glasses so much. If I'm getting ready for bed, like time to wash my face, shower, makeup off, the contacts come out. So I'll put my glasses on then. But it's truly just for a few hours of the day.
Okay, so most of the time you're driving, you have your contacts.
Always. Actually, I don't like driving with my glasses because I'm super sensitive to sunlight. So 90% of the time I am driving, I will want to pop on my sunglasses, which I can't when I'm wearing my regular glasses.
What's that shaving on her? Did you shave her leg?
No, she had her dental surgery last week. So she's...
Oh.
Hi. Oh
Look at her. She's all over that mic.
Can't. Anyway. Oh my gosh. I went to my laser appointment. I'm doing laser hair removal. I decided, I think it was in December that I wanted to do that. There's no reason not to. I am a California girl.
Yeah.
I am always in the sun.
Yep.
There are some parts of me that I would like to be hairless. And I think it's really amazing technology. I was very fearful for the first, because it's been a thing for several years now.
Mm-hmm.
I was one that was definitely thinking like, wow, that can't be safe. Who knows what that laser is doing? If you're getting it in certain areas, that's like near your uterus. Is that going to make you like women infertile? Anything like infertile?
Like because of the radiation?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure exactly like, it's something new. So there obviously hasn't been years of research done, even though the FDA said it's cool and safe.
Oh, of course.
Again, I want years of back research, please.
And also, what is it that they are just hiding and not telling us?
I switched Wi-Fi last week. That was a lot more in depth, a lot more procedures, needed a lot more from me than what I was expecting. So I called and asked for new Wi-Fi. The setup day was Friday. So I'm like, okay, great. It's like a Monday. They're not coming until Friday. Totally fine. Next thing I know, on Tuesday, bright and early, people unannounced on my property. Fine. I just wasn't expecting you guys. You guys didn't give me a call.
There's no appointment?
Appointment was on Friday. I guess there were additional inspections and work needed to be done beforehand. They did not tell me that was needed. So a little caught off guard. So Tuesday, somebody's here. He was only here for about an hour and a half. I don't know what they were looking at. They left some material for apparently the next guy who I thought was going to be here on Friday. Nope, he was here on Wednesday. And he was here for literally like 6 or 7 hours. A long period of time. And I'm like, okay, it's not even Friday yet. A lot of people have been doing a lot of stuff. I really thought it was just going to be a quick like hour to 2 hours on Friday, and that was going to be it. They were going to come set up the little plastic machine thing, and it was going to be fine. No, a whole lot more work went into this than that. Friday rolls around, and thankfully to the guy doing multiple hours of work on Wednesday, the Friday appointment was a breeze. It was very quick. It was great. I think what the big debacle is that I needed a new fiber optic cable or whatever, and changing out the cable, there was some kind of issue. It got stuck. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that it did get fixed. It's replaced. The Wi-Fi is working seemingly good for now. I'm cautious because the last provider I had worked fine for a couple of months too. And then it was like every 6 months, something going on. Oh, you need a new this. Oh, get these extenders. Oh, those extenders are a bad brand. Buy these ones instead.
But it worked great at the beginning, right?
It did work great for the beginning. So again, my new provider is working great. That doesn't necessarily mean anything to me quite yet. So we'll hang in there and we'll see how it's looking in a couple months. Whoa! She's out of here.
She's
all her
bored.
hair that she left behind. Oh my God, she got me so hairy. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the week?
My cousin and good friend is coming out this weekend.
Exciting.
And bringing his 3 kids.
Cool.
No plans, just hanging out. But hanging out, it's fun.
I know I was talking about my sight issues kind of extensively. Have you ever worn glasses or contacts?
Oh, yes. Contacts. Glasses when I was a little boy, but I don't remember it. My vision is, it's not perfect, but it's not that bad. So I can drive just fine without glasses. But contacts do improve my vision.
You have a sight issue that you just live with?
Yeah, pretty much.
Your prescription must be really low.
I can pass the, what is that? The vision test at the DMV. I've never not been able to pass that test, but it's not perfect. And I have this condition with my left eye where I can see in the dark without glare at night. So I'm better than most driving at night without any glasses or corrective lenses.
Interesting. I feel like if you had to have worn glasses when you were a child, like that's something where your vision just gets like worse and worse. There was a time where you just decided, I don't want to wear these anymore.
I don't know why they, maybe it was an ambitious optometrist who wanted to put glasses on kids who didn't really need it, but I really didn't need it. I remember at the time being told you have to wear glasses, but I could read just fine. Actually, I'm getting, was it nearsighted or farsighted, where if you put something up too close to me, I can't read it. So I have to push it back a bit.
Interesting. I know I was talking about my excitement for potentially being a laser eye corrective surgery candidate.
Yeah.
Also combined with the technology of laser hair removal. I think that's just pretty innovative and cool.
Yeah.
A lot of lasers doing a lot of things these days.
Yeah.
How do you think I guess I would say women necessarily is who I'm questioning here, but I guess you could say the men and women of this time period. How do you think the men and women of 1845 and 1855, like when they were doing Oregon Trail, pioneer people, Pioneerville,
The pioneers.
pioneer times, pioneering. How do you think they would react to these 21st century advancements? I mean, let me set the tone for anybody who doesn't know about the Oregon Trail. These women and men were trekking across the good old, what do you call that, Midwest. It's hot as hell. It's literally hot. And they're wearing, the long sleeves, multiple layers, multiple like skirts and stuff.
Petticoats, they called them, I think.
Literally sounds like jail. I couldn't imagine having to wear all those layers in the blistering heat, no air conditioning. I mean, nothing is cold. Assumably everything is warm, like even their water. I don't know how they're getting through life. But on top of that, there's no modern day hair removal options. Maybe they had razor and stuff. They weren't showing off their legs and everything, so
Yeah, they didn't need to.
probably weren't shaving their legs and etc. or underarms. I don't know. It sounds like the worst possible thing you could be going through. How do you think these women would react knowing like, oh, in 2020, it's totally cool to walk around in shorts or like a crop top if the weather permits, and to be hairless? How do you think they would feel about that? Do you think they would be like jealous? Or do you think they would be like, that's unchristlike, I wouldn't even participate in that even if we did have the options?
I would think they would think it's really weird that modern women are doing that. Their level of modesty was way different than it is today. So I think they would be like, why would a woman need to do that? Because they're not planning to show off their underarms or their legs above the ankle. Would probably think it was weird and immoral. Definitely immodest.
Even if we really set the stage for them and we're like, guys, it's cool. Not even it's cool, but it's like, it's accepted. There's nothing immodest about it, because if everybody's doing it in mass, it just becomes normal, right? So is it immodest or is it normal?
Well, keep
I
in
guess
mind,
it can be both at the same
You
time.
could be telling that to them, which turns out to be true because we're looking back in history. But for them at that time, they would, I don't think they would agree that it was cool. They would be like, no, that's just weird.
Maybe I misused the term cool. Not cool. Accepted.
Acceptable?
Yeah, it's accepted
Yeah.
and normal, not frowned down upon because it's so common.
They would probably not accept it though.
They still wouldn't think it's, oh my gosh, that's so innovative and fun.
I remember seeing my first science fiction movie about the future, and the women were all shaved. They were bald. And I remember thinking, that's not cool. The future is not going to be beautiful.
They didn't have any hair like up here. They were bald.
Bald, shaved. Yeah, it was.
Interesting.
The movie was called THX 1137. If you want to watch it, it was a guy's number, a human being's.
Oh, like
in the
serial
future,
number.
Yeah, in the future we don't have names because they don't care. You're a number, just like we actually are in
Like we're a
corporate
social security number.
Exactly. There you go. But like in the future, there's no argument. There's no illusion. Everybody realizes they're just a cog in a wheel and you have your number. You're not allowed physical contact with the opposite sex. This character, THX 1137, his roommate is a woman and she's bald. And I just remember thinking the future is going to be ugly if it's, but to them that was acceptable. But to us, that's not beautiful.
So even if we really set the tone for these girls, show them a video, like if they were all time traveled and just transported over here and we were like, guys, welcome. This is what we're doing nowadays. Are you down? Do you think a few of them would be like, okay, I can get behind that?
I think they would reject it. You did ask, would there be a few? Yeah, there's always people who think outside the box and are more open. I like to think we're those kinds of people. But the vast majority of people are just, they're followers and they don't want to change. Back for that time period you're referencing, they would just see it as immoral, immodest, and weird. They wouldn't see the point.
I understand that, which is why I said we'd really have to paint the picture for them here to understand the point. The reason I ask is because they're pioneering. Like I said, trekking across the country. No one's done that before except for the Native Americans. What they're doing is kind of already iconic and pushing the norms.
True. That's
so,
true.
like you said, a few might be down for the 21st century adaptations and advances.
Yep.
I would like to think maybe 25%. Are you thinking less than 25?
I don't know. It's a good question. Most people didn't come west like that when they did. That was real risky.
That's what I'm saying. I think we already have an open-minded group.
Yep.
So potentially their minds would be open to even something more outrageous like laser hair removal or LASIK eye correction. I don't even think they had like glasses. You know, they didn't have glasses back then. If you had a sight problem, did you just have to make do?
They did. They had glasses.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I don't. I'm not sure when glasses were invented, but
Ben Franklin.
he had glasses. They called them something else back then, though.
Bifocals.
Bifocals, yeah.
Needed you to prompt me to remember.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you for indulging in that.
It's a fair question. I remember being younger, imagining what the future was going to be like.
As a younger child, I was constantly thinking about the past. I was like, how did they do it? Like Oregon Trail times, Native Americans, like people that would do ships, like Mayflower and stuff.
Yep.
Whoa.
When I was young, I hated history.
I like to think that I'm brave.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever be like, oh, boats are going to new continent? Guys, let's go. Like, I don't think I would be one of the brave ones. I would probably wait for like boat 6 or 7. And I'd be like, okay, how successful has it been? Oh, only 3 or 4 have made it. Yeah, I don't know about that. It would still.
It takes a courageous personality to want to explore or change.
Well,
or to suffer.
I was courageous enough to change my opinion on laser hair removal.
Yeah.
I do want to give anybody a review. So far, I'm really enjoying it. Although I've only done 3 sessions. You're supposed to do about 12. For session number 1, I was like, why didn't I do this earlier? This is a breeze, like 0 pain, totally fine. Session number 2, I was like, oh, it's a little spicy. Like I see why people explain it as painful sometimes, but totally fine. Session number 3, oh my freaking God. The pain was insane. Do you have any plans for your birthday coming up?
My plan is to avoid thinking about it. That's my plan. I don't want to celebrate it.
Okay. If you could do anything for your birthday to celebrate, no restrictions monetarily, physically, travel-wise, or you have absolutely nothing tying you down, no limitations, what would you do?
Buy a condo in Tokyo, Japan, and live there.
Okay, I don't really know if that's like a way to celebrate your birthday.
So you're thinking of like an activity?
A trip or an activity or a celebration event.
I've been thinking about getting a pilot's license and learning to fly, so I'd buy an airplane. I'd buy a plane, I'd take lessons, and I'd start flying.
Fun.
Yeah, it's been a dream of mine.
Well, that's a really cool answer. Also, Valentine's Day is coming up. You're not born on Valentine's Day, but
Close.
Do you have any Valentine's Day plans for this year?
Again, yes or no? My Valentine's plans for the last 15 years have been to not go out on Valentine's Eve anywhere.
You're not doing anything else to celebrate Valentine's Day in any way, shape, or form?
Day before.
What are you doing?
Going out to dinner. Taking my mom.
Fun. So do you have any memorable Valentine's stories of your past with any ex-hoes? Sorry, I don't want to call them hoes.
No, very appropriate, because that's exactly who I was thinking of. An ex, and she turned out to be not a hoe, but a bitch. So
those usually go hand in hand.
Right. Well, she was a decent girl. She was a teacher, very attractive to me, my type of woman. When I met her, I was very interested in her. I was teaching at the same time as well. We hit it off. We were a couple, and I broke a date with her one time.
Why?
An interesting opportunity came up for a trip that I was always interested in. Are you familiar with the Baja 1000?
Sure. The motorcycle race thing.
Motorcycle cars, they have all classes of vehicles. I was asked to be a navigator for a chase driver. So I broke my date so that I could go on this Baja navigation trip. Told her, I said, I will make it up to you. Like, I didn't even ask her. I abandoned the plans that we had.
How much of a heads up did you give her that you were canceling?
3 or 4 days.
Okay.
3 or 4 days, which I know is short.
It's in the red zone. I was going to say if it's like 1 or 2 days, not cool, but 3 or 4 is still kind of not cool.
I agree. It was not cool.
Okay. Anyway, so you got the opportunity, said you were going to make it up to her.
Correct.
Did she immediately communicate back to you that she was disappointed and upset?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when I promised to make it up to her, she was still upset. She made it clear she was going to hold me to that. I was not just saying it to be nice or to smooth things over that she was going to collect, which kind of scared me and like put up my radar extra stronger, because it's like, yeah, I never experienced that before. And I agree. She had every right to hold me to my promise. It's just the way she did it really scared me. And
Understandable.
we were new. She basically, she wrote out a contract with bullet points. I was to complete 7 of the 11 ideas for making it up to her that she stipulated. They were scary detailed. It wasn't do 2 or 3 of the 11. It was 7 of the 11 must be completed. She put a time limit on it and elaborated each point very clearly. I really thought it was written by a lawyer. Anyways, I was just like, I am not going to get deeper into a relationship with a woman who acts with this kind of control. Yeah, I skipped out on a date, but
It's a bit of an overreaction. Do you still have this contract?
I do.
I was going to say, this is something I would have kept. This sounds like
Not only did I
hilarious.
keep it, I framed it and I put it in my bathroom, like a personal reminder and something for my close family. It was a big ego boost in the end for me, because like I completely ghosted her after that.
Oh,
Like I didn't
isn't that validating? You're just like, no.
Well, what happened after was validating and caught me by surprise. I did not see myself as such a catch, but she did not want to lose me. She apologized profusely.
Okay.
She really chased it.
Okay, I thought maybe there wasn't going to be an apology. I thought she was like going to stand
No,
by this.
she completely backed down and actually told me that it was a joke. You're going to see this thing. It was not a joke. It was written with all intent and seriousness.
That's funny.
But she backed down, said it was a joke and that I was foolish for taking it too seriously and getting spooked by it.
So on Sunday, we went and saw that new movie with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. I love both of them. We saw their new movie, Send Help. What did you think about that? I thought it was really cool. I've been thinking about it. Definitely a good movie. I feel like I haven't seen a really good movie. Like usually when I'm leaving the theaters in the past couple months, I've always been like, okay, well, that was kind of lame. Could have gone without. This one was really, really good. What did you think?
I was thinking the exact thing you were about its novelty. And yeah, I can't remember either Lord of the Rings was the last great film made.
Okay, isn't that decades ago?
Right.
Okay.
Which, to your point, when was the last good movie that came out? Anyways, I thought this was worth it. Not to mention, we were the only people in the theater, and it felt like a private viewing, very VIP.
I do like going to that theater because there's usually not a lot of people. It was definitely fun to be the only ones in there. But also, we went on Super Bowl Sunday. Literally everybody was watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
And we
How
went to
cool
the
is
movies.
that?
So, yeah, it was fun. My takeaway from the movie is that I thought it was definitely a realistic relationship between a hardworking, deserving employee and a boss who didn't earn his position in the company and truly doesn't know what's best for the company. Additionally, I think the ending was really satisfying. For a while, towards the middle, I was like, okay, where are we going here? Like, what kind of ending is this working towards? But the last 2 scenes were really satisfying, in my opinion.
I agree. And that's mostly why I enjoyed it. I thought it was unpredictable, and the ending was truly a surprise. I did not guess how it would end. Not to spoil things for anybody, but it was unpredictable and satisfying to watch, and the ending was just fulfilling. It felt good. It was a good ending.
The other takeaway, I will say, maybe it's a tiny bit of a spoiler, but not really, doesn't give away a lot of the plot. There was kind of a few too many projectile vomit scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well,
it was definitely funny, but I was like, okay, we've seen this before. I don't want to see this again. And then it happened one more time. I was like, okay, wow.
yeah, body functions forever remain comical, and Hollywood's just never going to get rid of that. I thought the message was ironic, which I enjoyed, because so many movies are just so cliche. You know, toxic male is bad. Open-minded liberal woman is good. But this movie kind of challenged that.
Indeed. Yeah, I really liked it. Are there any TV shows or series that you're currently watching right now?
Yes, Vikings, Netflix.
Is that like historical about Vikings, or is it more drama?
It's based on a true, actual, historical Viking character who was named Ragnar Lothbrok, a real person. like Hollywood, its purpose is entertainment. So it takes a lot of other Viking lore, Viking history, and kind of packs it into this one character's life, who was a true character, but all the stories didn't happen to him per se, like they do in the movie. It's historical, definitely dramatic. It's about him and his wife and how they started out and how he became an explorer and then a leader and a king, which is based on the real Ragnar Lothbrok. He has a lot of other things that they do in the movies that didn't happen to him historically, all done with some good dramatic entertainment. It's a good show, in my opinion. They don't have a lot of vomiting in it, though, so I don't know. You might not like it, the show.
Thanks.
How about you? I know you're, I don't want to say avid, but you have shows that you watch regularly.
I'm not a huge TV watcher, but I do have a few shows that I'm dedicated to. Real Housewives on the Bravo channel. Big watcher of most of those. Some of the franchises I don't care about. I would say like New York, Atlanta, Potomac. Some I don't care about.
That's a lot.
But Salt Lake, Orange County, and Beverly Hills, love.
The Salt Lake ones were the ones I saw with you?
So we watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Right.
Which, if you ask me, they should not have named it that. There's two franchises, the one about the train wreck moms and the actual respectable Real Housewives of Salt Lake City by Bravo.
Right. I think I remember when their first show came out. Wasn't it the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Was that the first one?
It was Orange County was the first one.
Orange County?
And so iconic, the first season of Orange County.
Yeah, it was a big hit.
They paved the way for every other Real Housewives franchise. Orange County used to be really, really interesting, but the cast of Orange County has gone downhill in recent years. We got broke-ass Gina, who is literally a real estate agent.
Perfect.
And then we have Emily, who is just straight up an ogre-ass bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sick of her. She's obnoxious. She's not pretty to look at. This last season, she was putting her child's disability on blast. That was her entire storyline, her child's disability, and her learning to deal with her child being disabled.
It doesn't even sound like
it's just pathetic.
What the show's supposed to be about.
It's so not. Like, we're here to see you be a housewife, not you exploit your son. I'm kind of tired of the cast. And everybody who is a diehard fan of Orange County is in agreement that the cast needs a shakeup. So that's all I'll say about Orange County. Obviously, I could dive deeper. Older seasons, absolutely golden. These past few seasons, it kind of seems like they're pushing, and the women that they have on the franchise aren't meshing well, unfortunately. As you can tell, I'm a big Housewives fan. Also, the 90 Day Fiance franchise. They have like 90 Day Single Life, 90 Day Before the 90 Days, 90 Day Happily Ever After. They have a whole bunch of different series, but the real one I like is Before the 90 Days and then 90 Day Fiance when they're doing the actual K-1 visa.
I've seen a couple of those on my own.
So funny.
It's pretty new, right? When did that start?
They've been doing it for maybe 10 years or so. It's been
I was
around
going to say
for a while.
I think the first time I heard of that show was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
After going to Thailand now twice, that show's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, they have some ladies from Thailand featured on a few seasons. It's always funny.
I met a lot of men who were over there literally looking for love, looking to bring home love.
Of course, it's not okay to laugh at people, and
yeah, it is.
Why
Especially
not?
at my age, I'm allowed to judge and laugh. But when you get older and you actually do know a lot about much, or you know much about a lot, you're allowed to judge away and laugh especially if people are stupid.
The last topic I want to talk about for this week is the Dunkin employee incident involving Corey Pujols. I don't know how to say the last name. I will link the video below, which gives a rundown of this incident, shows some of the arrest video on the day that this took place. So in May of 2021 in Tampa, Florida, 27-year-old Corey was working at a Dunkin Donuts when a 77-year-old regular customer came in and was upset that they weren't serving him through the drive-thru. Apparently, there was a communication error, which upset this elderly man, was using inappropriate language, swearing and berating these employees. The shift lead, Corey, decided that they were going to refuse this man's service for the day. He was not acting the way a customer should, and they exercised their legal right to refuse service. Understandably. The customer was upset with this outcome, so he then left the drive-through window where he was being refused service and entered the Dunkin Donuts. When inside the store, he was continuing to be verbally abusive towards staff and was using racial slurs, hard R, towards this young man. After the employee was insulted, he asked for this man to not repeat the slur that was used. The elderly man did repeat the slur. The elderly man was punched by Dunkin employee Corey. He fell to the ground and hit his head. Obviously was very injured after the one punch. The blow knocked the man out and he fell, hitting his head on the floor. He was taken to a hospital and died 3 days later due to injuries including a skull fracture. The Dunkin employee Corey was initially charged with aggravated manslaughter, but prosecutors later accepted a plea deal. He pled guilty to felony battery and was sentenced to 2 years of house arrest, mandatory community service, and anger management classes. I'm pretty sure we're going to have differing opinions on this. I'm just going to state there was absolutely no reason for this elderly man to enter the Dunkin', continually verbally harass these employees. No excuse for that. Words should not equate to physical harm, but this elderly man is hiding behind and using free speech. And I think that's cowardly and wrong. You absolutely cannot throw slurs towards people and not expect them to react. At the end of the day, it was a cup of coffee that this old man could have made for himself or gone into any other coffee shop. You don't treat people this way. Please do watch the video that I have linked in the description. It's pretty interesting, and it dives into the fact that this 77-year-old man served jail time for sexual crimes against young men. Maybe it was deserved. You get your karma in ugly ways. Obviously, the lessons that needed to be learned in jail weren't learned. Anyway, what's your take?
I agree with most of everything you said in your setup about people asking for things. However, you stated when someone's asking for it, they shouldn't be surprised when somebody reacts to what they do. So I take strong disagreement in that. First of all, the story's not about coffee. It's about racism and freedom of speech and violence. In a civilized, high intelligence society, you must not react with violence to words. You cannot react violently or punish people because you disagree with them. This whole show is because we're allowed a difference of opinion. You have one opinion about this story. I have a different one. Neither of us should have our opinion violently removed from us because some third party has decided that you're wrong or I'm wrong. That's the nature of freedom of speech. You cannot react violently because you disagree with what someone says or thinks. What they do, that's a different matter. But you're talking about freedom of speech. You should be able, in America, in a free society, to say anything you feel, whether it's honest or not. The moment you are not allowed to express your grief or complain against a king or a cop or your girlfriend, you're not free anymore. You can't make exceptions. Who draws the line and where does the line get drawn?
A judge or a jury. You're not in a civilized society when you're throwing slurs. Not a civilized exchange when that is what is starting off the entire debacle.
So, yeah, the old man threw some slurs. I agree. It was wrong and rude and led to his death. But no man is asking to be thrown deadly, violent punches for throwing a slur.
He left the safety of the window where he could have just drove off, had coffee somewhere else, or maybe gone to the park and reflected on his actions. Came inside, threw a slur. He asked for it 3 times. He's asking for retaliation. Hate speech, in my opinion, should not be protected because then you have people verbally assaulting you thinking that they are protected. This old man really thought he was going to get away with being disrespectful in an undismissible manner. Who is this man to think he can say these things?
Probably a free-thinking American who never thought that his opinions would get him killed. Words.
It's disgusting if you're thinking that. It's next level to be voicing it. And it's really next level to think that the Constitution is going to protect your cowardly words.
I think they're brave words. If you're going to risk death over your words, That takes courage.
He's brave to call somebody names.
He was brave to provoke a reaction out of that employee.
So if he's so brave, then he should have been expecting to throw down.
Well, that is illegal.
It's totally illegal, which makes hiding behind the words and thinking that you can hide behind the protection of freedom of speech, that's what makes it cowardly.
So be it. I think there should be no exceptions to freedom of speech. Americans, free-thinking, intelligent people should be able to...
You keep saying free thinking and intelligent. Somebody throwing these slurs is not intelligent. So you have to stop equating free thinking to intelligence, because that's just not.
I don't think he expected the reaction to be excessive. Yeah, he was at... So you kept using the example, he was asking for it. I don't think anybody asks to be violently killed. I don't know anyone who wants to be killed over their opinion or a word.
An old man who's egging on a situation that wasn't even a situation to begin with. He created the situation and he's egging it on, seeing how much he can get away with. That is so cowardly and not intelligent. You keep using the word intelligent. So again, stop saying that this man is a free thinker and intelligent, because he's not.
I agree. Clearly he was not smart, because he died. He got killed over his words.
Because he couldn't close his mouth. Throwing slurs and exercising freedom of speech is more important than him going about his day.
Well, he was an idiot for not realizing that he was dealing with a short-tempered, violent
There was
person.
Nothing short-tempered about this employee who asked him multiple times at the drive-through window, stop using that language, please leave, come back another day, we're not going to serve you today. And then when he is being physically approached, which is a threat, you're allowed to defend yourself when you're being threatened.
Behind the counter?
He is beginning the physical altercation.
I don't think he meant it to go physical.
Because he thought he was going to hide behind his cowardly words and behind his decision that racial slurs are going to be protected.
Which was his mistake.
Yep.
But it was the manager who physically acted first.
There would have been no punch if the old man did not enter the building. You cannot argue that.
There wouldn't have been any death if the manager held his temper.
There wouldn't have been a death had the old man not entered the building.
It's just, this is important to me because it sets a precedent where you can start making exceptions for what speech is protected and what speech is not protected. The problem history has proven is as soon as you start to deny any speech or protect any speech, you have all freedom is lost. It's all eventually lost. Sooner or later, you're going to get a king or a president or a judge that says you cannot complain about the taxes we impose on you. You're not allowed to complain.
We're discussing the issue that happened in
because
Dunkin.
This manager decided that he was judge, jury, and executioner of this man for making a mistake. He gets to kill him now. And then hide behind the plea. It was all in self-defense.
This old man caused his own death, caused a whole shakeup, and ruined this young man's life because he couldn't walk away.
He was mistaken. I agree.
And wrong. He was wrong.
He, I think he thought he was living in the old America where you can say anything you want and you're not going to be killed for words.
Even in old America, people retaliated for the slurs.
Not in the numbers that it's happening now in America. America, it's collapsing. Our freedoms are being slowly taken away.
In this situation, the only person that did wrong was the 77-year-old man. He made an example out of everybody else who thinks that behavior is okay.
Yeah, with that sort of philosophy, you're going to limit people's opinions and criticism.
I don't want to hear an opinion if it's a slur. You can get a message across without throwing slurs. So if you have an opinion, fine, but keep your slurs to yourself. Some opinions must include racial slurs, and you cannot get your opinion across without including a racial slur. Is that a yes or a no?
No.
So that's all I'm getting at here, is that this old man could have continued on with his life had he decided not to throw racial slurs.
You're right.
Again, I understand
agree.
this is where we're disagreeing. Slurs should not be protected. You can, in a educated civilization like you were referencing, get your opinion across without slurs.
Agreed.
Awesome.
Yes. And actually, the more intelligent you are, the less you need to resort to slurs. However, I am going the next step further, or looking at a bigger picture, that if you want to use slurs, you should have the right to do so. That's what I think. And bottom line, I don't think this manager, the employee, the Dunkin Donuts employee, was justified in any way to violently attack this old man. I mean, I could see where I understand what you're saying. The guy was asking for it. Yes. But the employee who ended up killing, maybe he didn't mean to kill him. I know he didn't mean to kill him, but he violently reacted to the old man's opinion and he killed this man over it. I don't think he should be set free and allowed to continue living that way, of deciding that some people are asking for it. I'm going to give it to them, possibly killing them. This person needs to be, he needs to be, what's the word they use in prison? Rehabilitated.
Which is why they served him up with the anger management course on top of his house arrest.
The judgment, I don't think, is part of the story or what we're arguing about. Basically, what I'm arguing for is absolute freedom of speech.
Slurs not included, because slurs shouldn't even exist.
I agree. And people are using poor taste using slurs. However, it goes back to, you can't start drawing lines. You can't make exceptions. As soon as you make one exception, it's just a matter of time until it's just all taken away. You were using a term earlier, hate speech. I take issue with hate speech. May I bring up hate speech and why I think it's wrong?
Hate speech would include slurs.
Right. But a different reason that I'm against hate speech is you cannot have a power or a government controlling our feelings. You start controlling people's speech, that's one thing. But you start controlling people's feelings, you start punishing them for having unacceptable or inappropriate feelings. Where's that going to go? I'm against any control of any speech, and I'm also against control of feelings. This man was attacked and killed for his slurs, his speech. He died because he said the wrong thing. I don't think he should be punished for that. I think the person who killed him should be punished for reacting the way he did to his speech. Now, low intelligent, slurs, I get it, and maybe even asking for it. But nobody's asking to be killed for what they say, which is based on how they feel. What we say and our feelings, we're human. They're intermingled.
Just because you feel something doesn't mean it needs to be expressed.
Oh, wow.
Keep it to yourself if it's a racial slur.
Yeah. Well, then you're saying we can't argue. There's certain circumstances we can't argue.
That's not what I'm saying at all. If you are feeling so overwhelmed in your daily life of ordering a coffee that you feel like you need to throw a racial slur, you need to keep that to yourself.
Well, no doubt. This guy, this customer, stubborn old man. I don't think he's justified in being killed for words, for what he said. Now, I know he pushed it, and he was stupid. He should have sized up who and what he was dealing with, that the guy was going to get violent. It goes back to, is if you can't criticize or tell the king what you really think or feel, then there's no freedom.
Just because you are feeling a racial slur is what needs to come out of your body does not mean everybody is subjected to hearing what you're feeling. Feel whatever you want. That's not being controlled. How you are presenting yourself to the public is what you need to control, because that's just public decency. Why is this old man's feeling of hatred more important than this Dunkin' employee asking him to leave politely?
I think that's an excessive reaction to an argument is to punch someone in the face.
An excessive reaction to being told we're not going to serve you today because you're cussing us out would be to come into the store and start throwing slurs.
Why didn't he just call 911?
The world is a better place without this old man.
I might agree with you on that, but I still think that it comes down to the reaction, the excessive reaction to step a non-violent offense to a deadly violent offense. And this employee, he could have just called 911, but what he ultimately did was which is illegal, he took the law into his own hands and he decided to physically stop this man from his hate.
This old man took the situation in his own hands and said, gee, let me take this to the next level. I need for everybody who works at this Dunkin' and everybody who's patronizing this Dunkin' right now to know that my feelings of being hateful and being an awful person who thinks slurs are okay and protected, that's more important than anything else going on right now. Everybody must hear my feelings and my racial slurs.
No, he was an idiot to push that.
He was an idiot to do that.
But I think there's nothing wrong with freedom of speech.
Yeah. There is something wrong with thinking that you can use a racial slur.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you can't outlaw it.
I hear you say, I agree with that, but just a lot of the conversation that we just had before, I think a lot of people would agree you're not agreeing with me on that. So I think that's probably a good place to end it. I really do think that the world is a better place without this nasty 77-year-old man. Again, I would really like for everybody to look into that video. I do feel bad for this 27-year-old man. He's probably almost 30 now because this did happen a couple years ago. He obviously has had his life ruined by this incident, and I hope he can move on. That's all I have to say. I think that's pretty much it for today. I have to get ready for Pilates, and I have to get dinner ready. What are you doing for the rest of the day?
I have to get ready to help a friend with a septic maintenance and follow up on some rainproofing I did after the heavy rain we had last night. Other than that, I'm free.
Awesome. Thank you to everybody for listening today. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Same here. Bye.
Bye.